We're gapping up. Pre-market, overnight session. Micron's earnings, China stimulus, um, but really the Micron earnings spurning semis on. They basically like double beat earnings, give good guidance, and here we go. Right, so the Qs have been trying to get over that 45, 46 level and couldn't do it. Well, they did it now. All right. So, this is kind of like an exhaustion gap over a big resistance level. Now, all shorts that have been in the market now are underwater right now. So, be very interesting what happens today. Very interesting. So, ES or SPY at all-time highs already, but the Nasdaq was not, right? And you're waiting to break that level, and now it's done it. And basically, any type of short that was in the market is really underwater right now. So, have to see how the market really responds to that. Okay, and we'll get into more stuff in a little bit. But without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in these markets, along with gamma exposure level, supply and demand, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. That's my edge. That's how I look at the markets. All right. That's how I like to see data. Right. That's my foundation, my route to see the market. Okay. So if you're new, say hi. I don't know if you're new. I know I saw a couple new people. I think it was Pancake yesterday. Hopefully they join me again. I know Luis has been here, G-Man, and I haven't seen Muhammad, but hopefully you guys join me, all right? You got Rosita's always busy, so who knows when she's going to pop in. And hopefully every day somebody could join me, or anybody could join me, all right, at 8:10 a.m. All right, subscribe, set an alert. All right, have a cup of coffee, sit back. You want to hear the recap of what's going on yesterday. You want to hear what's going on this morning. You want to know what's moving the markets this morning, the leaders, the laggards, the upgrades. We'll talk about the downgrades. We'll talk about daily charts, economic calendar, market news, all of it. All right, it's like a buffet of the stock market. So join me. All right, join me. And if you do like my content, smash the like button. Smash that like button. That would mean a lot. All right. And you can always follow me on X at Gonzo719. You could also check out my day trades, which I know they provide educational value, because I have many winning trades, but I put up the ones that I feel give the most education. So please go to my TikTok, Gonzo719Trader, as well as you can go to my YouTube where you can find those under shorts. Okay? Under shorts. So, why don't we get right into the futures watch list, okay? Boom. Here we go. All right. Who's the leader today? Who's the leader today? I think it's Ether. Ether's up 2.29%, followed by silver, up 2.15. Okay. Bitcoin's up 2%. Nasdaq's up 1.41%. Russell's up 0.88. ES up 0.74. The dollar's up 0.60. So interesting, the dollar's up 0.60 and gold is still up. Gold pushed over 2,700. It's just been a monster. I'm loving it. I'm a gold bug. So I'm hoping this thing rockets up to 5,000 one day. So we'll have to see. Okay. Dow's up 0.37. 30-year bonds being bought. Okay, that should send the 10-year yield lower. It has. 10-year yield lower is down 0.56. The VIX is down 1.10. Okay, we're under a 16. Like I said though, end of September. We still have the election in October. Also, is a month that usually is seasonally bearish. Right now, September is beating that trend. Okay, but we still not done with September. However, it's beating the trend. But whenever the market has uncertainty, like in the November in the election coming, maybe some de-risking might happen. That's why I don't think that VIX is going to go too much farther. Crude, crude hit the most traded price of the rolling year. Now it's pulling back, right? Down 2.86%. Profit taking is happening in crude. Now I just saw that there's going to be an oversupply possibly in crude, which should lower crude. But you never know, okay? So crude oil is like a nuts, kind of, all right? Because it doesn't have to go with XLE, the energy stocks. It doesn't have to move in unison with them all the time. And it's futures traders that push crude, okay? Futures traders push crude. So pulling back. So we'll see. I think this might take a little break, crude, but we have to see. Okay, anytime it's below $70 a barrel, I'm going to be watching. All right, let's go to the Mag 7 Plus. Who's leading here? No surprise. No surprise. AMD. AMD with Micron's earnings this morning, Micron's earnings yesterday, pushing semis up, right? Pushing them up. So AMD, you got at 166. All right, 166. Now, when that Japan carry trade unwinding happened, I added a lot of Mag 7s. I added Vertiv. If you check out that stock, VRT, stock ticker VRT, that thing has been rocketing. I pretty much bought that at like 60 something. Now, I didn't go full load on these. I just nibbled. Okay, I just nibbled. So AMD's one of them. All right, I think I got that at like below 130 or something. I don't know. I don't quite remember. All right, so anyway, again, I'm not no financial advisor. But semis are on fire. Okay, Nvidia is up 2.2. Now Nvidia is over 120, over 125. It's at 126 and a quarter right now. So, and also Broadcom, Avgo, broke a key level the other day of 175, so that's pushing too. Meta had their glasses, the VR, man, that was some crazy stuff. And they talked about real-time dubbing of audio, which is kind of cool on Reels. It was pretty cool. So they're moving pretty good. Coinbase with Bitcoin moving. Okay, Snowflake has been destroyed. It's finally moving a little bit. Tesla up 1.38. Google's up 1.10. Also been nibbling at Google and Amazon. Okay, Amazon's going towards 200 again, up 0.92. Boeing's got that strike, okay, but it's up 0.84. Apple had disappointing iPhone 16 in China, however, still pushing up with this morning. Netflix up 0.58. I believe hit all-time highs the other day. Microsoft, they got a downgrade the other day, so they pulled back a little bit, but that's only a little bit. All right. JP Morgan up 0.29, and GE, the laggard, but still up. Berkshire Hathaway. And if you look at the chart of Berkshire Hathaway, that's the largest holding of financials, and it's a pretty big holding in the SPY. And I believe it or not, I believe in the QQQ. Okay. So that had a meteoric parabolic move, and now it's taken some of the froth off of that. If you look at that chart. All right, moving on. Top sector stocks. We're looking at Qualcomm semi, right? Nibbled on that as well. That is up 2.48%, followed by CAT. CAT obviously is industrials. Uber's industrials up 1.19. Salesforce up 0.90. Visa with the antitrust lawsuit, they are up 0.69. Okay, who's lagging here? Who's lagging here? Now healthcare's pulling back. I noticed healthcare's pulling back. CVX, all right, with the crude pulling back. That stock went up to 147, already dropped back down to 141. So the energy names are getting pulled back with crude and Exxon. All right, that makes sense. Okay, they don't always move in unison, but they are now. All right, so they got everybody excited, and then profit taking happened, and possibly the oversupply. We'll have to see. Go to the swing trade list. Woo! Woo! All right, Micron up 16.63%. That's why semis are on fire. That's why the market is moving. Okay, that's why especially the Nasdaq is moving. All right, followed by, now this is going to hurt me a little bit because I've been having an alert on Western Digital, okay, hitting the anchor VBOP for the year, and I kept getting the alert, and I'm like, well, I don't know, and then of course up 7.88%. I've done that a couple times this year, but that's okay. Obviously, Western Digital's hard drives, data center, think data center, right? That's why Vertiv was one of my favorite picks. Baba, whoa, wow. I was an owner of Baba, but that gave me heart attacks every day because that gaps up and gaps down every day. With China's help, with the stimulus, with the 50-point base cut, yeah, 6.8%. That's a big move. Okay. Same thing with Las Vegas Sands. Big move. I'm sure the wind's up there. Yep. Applied Materials. Look at that semi up 5.84%. Lam Research semi. That's splitting soon. 10 to 1. That's up 5.7%. The Win. China again up 5.19. Alcoa Aluminum. That's up 5.05. Accenture. I believe their IT up 4.5%. All right. I believe that's energy. Let's see here. That's Southwest Airlines up 4.1. ARM semis, Intel semis, Lululemon's not a semi. That's clothing. That's retail. Riot. That's Bitcoin related. Taiwan Semiconductors up 2.88. That's obviously semis. Mara Mining. That's Bitcoin. Marvel Semi. MicroStrategy Bitcoin. American Airlines. I guess airlines are getting some love, and actually that has been removed from the S&P 500. I believe because of Dell replaced them in pounds here. So, yeah, that's what's going on there. Now let's look at laggards. Who's lagging today? Let's see who's lagging today. ConocoPhillips makes sense, right? Energy. Hershey, kind of a staple. Hershey down 1.82. Donald Trump down 1.7. Hess Energy. Philip Morris, obviously that's cigarettes. Devon Energy. Valero Energy. Nordstrom's got a downgrade. That's where they're down. Coca-Cola, staple. All right. And Lockheed Martin's defensive. AbbVie, medical. Obviously, that's healthcare. Ally Financial. All right. Not a lot of laggards, though. Not a lot of laggards. Let's go to the guts and how I basically look at the market when it opens. Semis are up a whopping 3.32%. Okay. Followed by technology, the heaviest weight sector in the S&P 500 at about 30%. Okay, that is up 1.65. Now, yesterday, because this friggin' market's been weird, yesterday every sector was almost down except XLK. Except XLK. I believe it never got red on the day. So it's going to have a hard time getting follow through to the downside when XLK is green. Okay. Now, this morning you got discretionary at your Amazon, your Tesla, your Home Depot, right? Basic materials. So everything's getting love. Communications, right? Who's lagging? Energy. Crude's pulling back 2.73%. Energy taking profits from that bounce up. Okay, from the bounce up. All right. Good morning, Luis. And that wraps up our sectors. We're going to move on to the economic calendar and some news. Okay, big time economic calendar today. Okay, big time economic calendar today. Let's look at it. We have today GDP 830, durable goods. All right, so GDP, initial jobless claims, should move markets maybe a little bit. All right, initial jobless claims expecting 225. All right, previously 219. So expecting 225. Let's see how that works. Now we have Fed speak today. Fed Collins 9:10. Fed Kugler 9:10. Then I believe this is a pre-recorded speech. All right, Fed Chair Powell at 9:20 a.m. Fed Chair Powell at 9:20 a.m. 10 minutes before the market. 10 minutes before the market. I'd rather have that than like 9:30. Okay. Then you got Fed Williams, and then at 10 a.m. you got pending home sales. All right. Sometimes that might do something. Sometimes that's nothing burger. All right. Then Fed Bar at 10:30, and then Fed Kashkari at 1. So you got the Fed bar speaking at 10:30. So algos can kick in at any second if he says something hawkish, dovish, whatever. Tomorrow's the big one, core PCE. Tomorrow's the big one, and Michigan consumer. I know that other consumer sentiment was bad previously in this week. That didn't matter much. It did push the markets down, but that didn't matter much. Okay, I don't think much matters can bring this market down right now. Okay, now let's look at some news. Okay, I'm sure there's going to be a little. Let me refresh this. There we go. All right, let's talk about it. Look at it. Micron stock rose 60% after the chipmaker unveiled current quarter guidance that was far above analyst expectations thanks to soaring demand for its memory chips used in artificial intelligence applications. There you go, folks. There you go. Okay, Accenture. I talked about it before. Stock rose 4.3% after the professional services company beat quarterly earnings and revenue expectations. CarMax stock fell 7% after the used car retailer's solid second quarter sales were not enough to offset pressure on its car loan business. Here's the airlines, okay? Southwest stock rose 4.7 after the carrier raised its revenue per capacity guidance for the current quarter and announced a 2.5 billion stock repurchase program. That's why airlines are moving this morning. Okay. And then GE Healthcare stock fell 1.6% after UBS downgraded its stance on the medical technology company to sell. You don't hear that a lot. To sell. Right? That's what's going on there. All right. Now, let's go on to some more news. All right. We talked about Micron. Talked about Southwest, Boeing striking union to resume contract talks. We talked about Accenture. All right. Let's see what else we got here. That might cover everything. I'm not going to go into too much detail if I don't see something that stands out. Okay. Looks like General Motors Automaker will recall 18,235 commercial vehicles in the United States over an issue with brake lines. That's not great news. Of course, yesterday, Meta, I talked about the glasses. I talked about the dubbing in real time for Reels, which is pretty cool. And I saw an example where they had somebody speak Spanish, right? And then the next one over automatically dubbed English and sunk it to his lips. It's pretty impressive. That's pretty cool. Okay? So that means whenever I do a reel or whatever, that could be translated into another language. All right? Now, NRG, remember we talked about that earlier. NRG is up. The utility firm said on Wednesday it expects its full year adjusted core profit to be in range of 3.5 billion to 3.7 billion. The company had previously forecast adjusted core profit to be in the range of 3.3 billion to 3.6 billion. So it's a utility company. I said energy. It's the name of the energy, but it's a utility firm. All right. All right. Let's see here. Visa, the world. I'm not talking about that. All right. Meta got price target raise. Palantir got a price target raise. Starbucks target raise from 115 from 192. Okay. Now let's go to the upgrades and downgrades. Let's see if this has been updated. All right. So I'm going to go to this list. It's a better list. Well, not really. All right. We got Bilibili. I believe that's China. And that is upgraded. Okay, we got Starbucks. There's the upgrade, 92 to 115. Downgrades. We already talked about GE Healthcare. Hershey, that's why that's down. Nordstrom, I talked about the downgrade, right? That's it there. All right, let's go to initiations. Initiation, CME Group initiated a hold. First Solar at a buy. What else here? NASDAQ Exchange at a hold. That's all there. Now, let's go to price target changes. All right. We'll go to the raises first. ON got a target raise 47 to 60. Meta target raise from 530 to 605. Meta 550 to 635. McDonald's 280 to 320. Lightspeed 18 to 20. Let's see here. Okay. Crocs 149 to 155. Let's go to target lowards. Oh, is there not target lowards today? The hell? That's interesting. That must be a mistake because there is target lowers. We can go over that in a second. All right. Let's see here. China. Let's go to the juice real quick. All right, the initial jobless claims are out. What do we got here? Actual 218. 218. GDP. Final actual 3%. They were looking for 2.9. So better than expected. Okay. And then you got China's stimulus plan. So that's why friggin' Baba's going crazy. All that. All right. All right. What else did I want to talk about? We got Powell on top. It's just a big day. Okay. A big day. And I think we're going to get just right into daily charts. We're going to get into the daily charts. All right. Let's get right into those dailies. Here we go. Give me a sec here. Boom. There we are. And we're looking at dailies. All right. Oh, we got Pancake in here. We got K Trader in here. What do we got? No Rosita, I don't think today. Maybe G-Man. I seem to looks like more people file in at the 8:30 main event. That's what I think seems to happen. And that makes sense. People want to just see the scenarios. That makes total sense. Let's get into the SPY. All right, let's zoom in here. Hey, G-Man. What's going on? So, all right, this is all bullish. All right, in the SPY. We're just consolidating. And let me tell you, every day when I look at internals, right, the market has been a mixed bag. Every day. It has not been in unison. Hey, K Trader. It has not been in unison. It has been a mixed bag. It's been a weird market. Okay. Usually you find some type of like unison with the market. It's really all over the place. Yesterday, everything's down except tech. The other day, tech was down and other stuff was up. It's a mixed bag. All right. And if you look at sectors, healthcare is pulling back. Financials are pulling back. Right. But now, is it time for tech? See that Micron news? Is it going to make tech, because tech's been relatively weak? Let's see. If people are going to rotate back into that now, it looks like they are a little bit. So we'll have to see. Now, this this is all balanced, right? We don't have to get too much in detail about this. Let's look at the live look of futures. Look at that. All right. So look at this. Last week's highs was just being resistance in futures, right? Right here. 57.98. It just was, couldn't get over it. And look what we're doing. Okay. Gapping up. We are gapping up, especially with the GDP being better than expected. Jobless claims actually under. So market's liking it. We'll see. Okay. But remember, this was at all-time highs already. This is really not what we're here to talk about. SPY's been moving. All right. Now, let's look at the Qs. Let's look at the Qs. Look at the Qs. They just couldn't. Yesterday, they made a little move, right? Little fake out over this level. Where I'm just like, yo, I've been talking about this every day. Hey, you got to break this level. And then I think we go to all-time highs. I've been saying this every day, right? Yesterday was a little fake out and then closed right here, right? Where are we at right now? Now, actually in SPY, I didn't do my where we at right now, so let's do that real quick. 574.50, just to give you an example of 574.50, we are right about there in the SPY. Okay? All-time highs in pre-market. Let's go back to the Qs. Where are we at? 493.20. 493. Here's that big level. We're all the way. Look at this friggin' thing. All the way up to 49.30. Okay? Look to the left. It's right underneath these support this support right here. This little cluster, we're right at the bottom of this cluster, this little consolidation here. And crazy. Right? This is like would be an exhaustion gap, because look at this resistance here. We came back up from it. resistance here, fell back down, came back up to it, right? So think about everybody who's short. What are they feeling today when you're all the way up here? Okay? I think if the market stays strong and we pull back a little bit, those shorties are going to panic out of that, and we should probably go higher. Okay? Maybe we hit 500 today. Maybe. I'm not sure. Okay? I'm really not sure. Okay, let's look at the live look futures. I'm running a little later today, huh? I'm being a little longer-winded today, I think. So here's that level in futures. You can see it. Look across. That was that level, 202.50. Market's pushing up. Okay. Now, this level here could be a level in the futures, right? 206. 206. That could be a level. Okay. That is a previous monthly high. Okay. And then if we push through some stuff, maybe looking at 208.95. All right. Now in futures, we'll get into it. There's a gap above in the NASDAQ. We'll talk about it. It's going to be important to talk about. Okay, so we're pushing up. Now, let's get out of here. Let's talk about that triple-headed monster and that 10-year yield. Interesting. Interesting. The 10-year yield was down earlier. It was down. It was down a 0.5% when I got on the stream. It is up right now. 0.5. So, bottomed out here. When rate cuts happen, been rising up, right? Can we hit 3.9? Interesting. Yields are rising. I still feel this is bond traders taking profits from this dip, right? We'll have to see. We have to see. Now, moving on to that second head, right? It's that dollar. And that dollar before was pushing up. Let's see what it's doing now. The dollar was up earlier. It still is. Okay. Now remember, we zoom out here. That swing low and down. Now look at that. Look at what you did. Went right down to last week's lows. Right here. Couldn't break it. Ripped back up. Now we're right here in the middle of the model. In the middle of the model. You can't. The dollar doesn't know what it wants right now. Okay. The dollar does not know what it wants. The VIX. Let's talk about the VIX. The VIX is at 15.19. We're losing that 16 VIX. Okay? We're losing it. We closed here yesterday. We are here. Okay? Now, like I said, with September, the end of September into October is usually like bearish seasonally, right? But we have an election coming, and we don't know who's going to be our president. We just don't know. That is unknown. The market will like to de-risk. Okay? So I believe we're going to get a shot up, or we stay here. I don't think we're going down to 14, 13, 12. I'd be shocked when the election gets nearer and nearer. People will de-risk. Somehow de-risk. Might be a correction one day. I don't know. I just feel like that's going to happen. Okay? Now, real quick, let's look at that yen. And let's just see what Japan's yen is doing. It's pulling back. It is pulling back. Okay? The yen is pulling back. All right. That's it here. Let's go to that main event. All right? Because there's this will explain the move even more. Okay? This will explain the move even more. Boom. Here we are. Where are we? We're at the market profile. Volume profile. My baby. My baby. All right. Let's position this for you guys. All right. Let's position it nice and nice. Okay. Now, we are in no man's land in all-time highs in the overnight session. Okay. Now, let's get my tool. All right. Okay, let's talk about structure. Okay, here's our rolling profile. Okay, we were in balance. Okay, value area right here. That's what we've been chilling at. And now we got our thinny thin up here. Okay, now what happened yesterday? The most traded price of the month and the week are the same. Big moves happen from ultimate balance. You've heard me say it before. Ultimate balance is when the most traded price of the week and the most traded price of the month line up. And I'll just round it off to 57.77. All right? It's just how the market works. All right? When you have the most agreed upon price here, those are shorts and longs agreeing on price. If you move away, it's a big move. Okay? That's why the move has been big right now. So this is our line in the sand, folks. 57.77. Write it down. You don't want to go back under that. You do not want to go back under that, bulls. Okay? Now, let's talk about yesterday. Yesterday was just par for the course, right? The market's internals were weak, but XLK was strong. Okay, XLK was strong. So you're not going to go down too much. You're not going to go down too much. Now, you did a little breakout here, that level I talked about, and that was a little fakey fake. Then you tried to go lower, and you really couldn't, right? And then you closed here, right? Expected. This is expected when XLK is strong and the rest of the market's weak. You're really not going to do much, okay? So where are we at now? We're gapping up way up here, 58.27. Okay. Now, what do we have here? Okay. Let's talk about our inventory. Okay. This is when we talk about inventory. Here is the open at 6. Well, that's probably more at 4:16 because I have the close at 4:15. So this is your only short activity. And guess what you have here? A triple bottom here, a poor low. That's the only short activity, folks, all along. Let's call it 95% net long. Okay? So this is important. 95% net long. All right? Now, if you look at the market over here, you got that big gap up. All right? And then we just been, whoever was long from that gap up, they're getting paid. They're not getting hurt. Look at this line, and now look, we're all the way up there. Now, this doesn't mean bearish what I'm talking about. It could be setting up for a nice correction. All right, why? Well, everybody's long, and you got this thin volume. It's emotional. Okay, you got single prints in the profile. Now, if you've been watching me, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. We got Alfie. That's an elephant on a stick. That's an elephant on a toothpick. Should a toothpick hold an elephant? No. But if it does, it's bullish. All right? If it does, that toothpick is the new invention. If it can hold up the elephant, right? So, and what do we got? What else do we got? The price is up at the highs. So all I'm saying is you're set up for a beautiful correction, maybe to here, to here. Okay? Not talking bear. I'm talking about correction. Now this G-Man knows what I'm talking about here because this would be new business. This is new business. Overnight hands are weak. Overnight activity is not big boys. They're weak hands. Okay? So if you're long from here and you start going under this most traded price, you're going to be like, all right, I'm taking profits. I'm taking profits. And guess what? One other thing I want to talk about why single prints are so important and why the thin is so important. Just think about this. I want you guys to think about something here and why this works a lot. Because where do you set a stop in here? Where? You don't. That's why it just goes boom, 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 boom. Right? Now, if it catches it, that's bullish. So there's always two sides of that coin. All right? Now, I'm long-winded today. I apologize. I'm just trying to give you golden nuggets. Trying to give you golden nuggets. So let's talk about levels. Let's talk about gap rules first. We got a big gap. Big gaps are not easy to trade. All right, let's be honest here. Here's our gap fill, 57.98. 57.98. Let's talk about gap rules real quick. Most bullish, you got to gap and go. That goes without me. I don't do anything with that. Number two, you pull back, you fail to fill the gap, and you go higher, right? Number three, you fill the gap and you go higher. All right. Those are all bullish, right? Now, door number four is what if you start going back into range? That is not a sign of strength. So now you know the gap rules, okay? That's how I look at them. That's how I look at them. Okay, now, levels wise, we got a weak low here, right here, with the most traded price and ultimate balance. Okay, if you come back and you do that, boom, boom, wow, not good for the markets, folks. Okay, key level now, 50% retracement of the overnight move is 58.04. What does that line up with? The demand zone. That's a level. Keep it on your watch. 58.04, 50% retracement of this move up. All right. All right. Now, another tip. 58.28 is our all-time high in futures. Overnight sessions do not usually make all-time highs. The real-time trading sessions hours do. So most times or not, the real-time trading hours will breach that. All right, that's a little tip. All right, now we can get right into scenarios, folks. That's what everybody's probably waiting for. Enough of me blabbing on. All right, let's do it. Now, big gap ups like this are not easy. Okay, so now let's talk about it. All right, we're going to talk about the bull case. Now, there is supply up here. I did put a supply up here, right there. Okay, I don't think that's safe, but let's see what I would like to happen. Remember, I talked about the correction. So I'm expecting some type of correction. So if I'm bull though, and I'm like, nope, I'm waiting for the long, I could see us pushing up. Now, this level is very, very important here. The overnight most traded price. That's 58.24. Write it down. 58.24. Those are longs up there. Okay? Those are longs trying to make this thing go higher. So if you breach that level, guess what you're doing? You're correcting. All right? So we come back through this. Yep. What do you got? Thin volume. Thin volume single prints. What I think we're going to do is come right into this demand zone and the 50% retracement, 58.04, and we're going to see if we can hold. If we can hold, I think we go up. Right now, there is one more that is possible. I have seen this overnight be support, so I have to put that in there. So we could boop, boop, go up higher, come back, try to break that, recover, hold, and then move higher. Okay? The last one, obviously, I'm into is, all right, let's say you break this and you go all the way down to the gap fill, which happens to have a demand zone right there. If that gets defended, even if it does this and we just do this, we could move up. Okay? That's a lot of green. All right, that's a lot of green because what happens is people think here is bearish when it's not. It's a correction of the overnight inventory. And then it's just liquidity now to take those shorts out and go higher. Again, I don't know how the market's going to be when it opens. Strong, weak, I have no clue. It's been friggin' nuts all week. Okay, so that is the bull. Let's talk about the bear. All right. Am I a fan of the bear? Probably not. Okay. But we'll talk about it. Now, the one thing that is here, let's talk about it again. Overnight inventory right there is the only short activity, is right here to this much long. And you're at the top of the session. And the most traded price is there. It's primed for a correction. Okay, inverse of what I just said in the bull case. So what I could see in the bear case is push up, get the all-time high, real-time trading hours. Have to see how we deal with this level, the most traded price of the overnight. If we breach it and we start to hold lower high, it could be a quick push down. Okay, into this demand. Now, remember, this is bear. Maybe you get a little bounce, but then there's still not a lot of volume here, not a lot of meat on the bone here, and we can go to pancake. Come on. Might have to put you in detention, pancake. I'm just kidding. We're just getting over the bear case, all right? So now, if we go to that gap fill, I expect to get a little bounce, but remember, this is bear case, and if we bounce up, we rip through this demand, yeah, we're going to go down and test ultimate balance. Now, pancake, I was telling everybody ultimate balance has happened. I know you're new. Ultimate balance means big moves happen from ultimate balance. That's why we have moved higher like this. Okay, now 57.77 is our big level. That's the bear bull line. You don't want to go back under that. If you go under that and you break through this demand, okay, it's a big demand zone here. You have to break it, kill it, and what do you got to do? Find acceptance below it. You hold and hold and hold. If the market is not strong, okay, this is going to go down to this demand zone here, and it ultimately could have been just one big bull trap, and we're taking a leg lower. Okay, if we break this demand, boy, 5,700 is in the sights. And what comes into play, Alfie? You got that thin volume over here. So we got an Alfie, elephant on a stick here. We got it here. Does it come into play? I don't know. I don't know. But I want to tout my boy. All right? These toothpicks have been strong. They've been strong. Okay. Let's move on to NASDAQ, and we'll wrap it up. I'm being long-winded here, pancake. You're lucky that I've been being long-winded. Let's move on to the NASDAQ. All right, now, we got some important levels to talk about. Okay? And we are not yet in ultimate balance in the NASDAQ, but we are in the 24-hour session. Okay, so let's open this up and talk about, remember, this is stronger right now because of semis. All right, so now finally it's relatively stronger, not in the macro sense of where we are in the charts, but in the move. In the move. Okay, look where we're at. You see this big gap? You see how we just nipped it? We came right up to it. That's why it's important. This is a back adjusted futures chart. It's not continuous. Okay, so you have the gap right there, and that's a monster gap. Okay, so we're talking about from 207.02 to 205.19. Gaps don't count as being filled in the overnight session. This little move in there doesn't matter, but it's key to note where it stopped. Where it stopped, the bottom of the gap. Okay, now we're talking about the exhaustion gap, right? All these shorts are under water. You are not happy if you were short. Okay? Talked about that QQQ 45.46. It faked us out yesterday. It faked us out, and now the big move with Microns earnings happened after hours. Okay. Now, let's look at this. You got a bunch of demand zones here. Okay. I don't need to say gap rules. Pancake, you missed gap rules. You missed it. Got to go back. All right. Now, I'm not going to talk about that. I already talked about it. We're going to talk about key levels. Now, if you look at this move, all right, I want to show something. Notice when ES, the overnight low, is by ultimate balance. NASDAQ is not. Okay. It's just moved so much higher. Okay. Now, we're going to look at the overnight inventory. That's the open of the overnight. That's the only short activity last night to this much long. 95% net long inventory. 95% net long of weak hands in the overnight. Okay. Most traded price here. Price at the highs. That is key for a correction. That's not bearish. It's just a correction, just like I talked about. Okay. You got single prints, thinny thins up in here. All right. So what do we have? A little bit of Alfie. But the big but I say is this move is supported by news of a semi. And there might be FOMO in the markets now going, oh my God, like I got out and now semis are moving. This Microns news, whatever. Okay. So some key levels to look at, right? Some key levels to look at. We have our big gap up here. We'll get into why that's important, okay, in a little bit. Now, 203.73, that's your 50% retracement of this overnight move. Write it down. And the gap fill, 202.72. 202.72. That's the gap fill. Okay, that's the gap fill. Now, you got a ways to go for me to be like, oh, I'm shorting this NASDAQ. I mean, ES looks more like, ooh, if it goes down to the overnight lows, ooh, that's not good. But this thing, it could still go to the overnight lows, and you're not in danger of a big level down here. So that's why I'm not a fan of the short probably in ES, right? Okay, let's talk about what I can see here, okay? Now we're going to get right into the scenarios. Let's do it. Just to let you know, my computer's been on life support. I'm probably going to have to get another motherboard. I literally got a blue screen of death when I literally shut off the stream yesterday. I said, all right, everybody, see you tomorrow. Boom, blue screen of death. And then I'm struggling with my computer, so I'm probably going to have to get a new motherboard. Just let you know that it's been nuts. I have anxiety thinking this thing's going to crash any 2 seconds. So anyway, that's my story. So let's get into scenarios. Okay. And let's talk about the bull. All right. Now, a couple things to note here. All right. We have a naked VPOC right up here. 205.71, write it down. Naked VPOCs are untested most traded prices of a day. They usually act as magnets. Okay. So 205.71. We're going to use that in our scenarios. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about bull. Bull, bull, bull. All right. Cause what I can see happening, okay, is this gap in this naked VPOC. What I could see is we open up, we push up to the naked VPOC. 205.71. I can see us filling the gap a little bit, pulling back. Now look at this. All right, I want to mention, you guys got to note this. What's this level? I want to give you the level. It is 204.90 in the NASDAQ. That's the most traded price of the overnight session in the NASDAQ. Lines up with a demand zone right here. If we go like this and it gets support, this could fuel that move up. And I don't know if we fill this gap. That would be a pretty big move. But let's just say, what if we did 207? That would be a very big move. I don't know if we do it. We might just get halfway to the gap. I don't know. Okay? That is one. Okay? Second, all right? We correct. we take out some of the thinny thin. All right, Alfie's toothpick gets a little broken. We do this. Boom, boom, boom. Right into this demand. And then let's see if we can move up as well. All right. That's what I'm saying. Nasdaq's so much relatively stronger. It just has more room for pullbacks. Okay. More room for pullbacks. This lines up also with 203.73, which is the 50% retracement of this overnight move. All right. Once you get under that, I don't know how excited I am to go long. I don't really know if I'm excited about it. Yes, there's a demand zone here, and there's a big demand zone here. I don't know how excited I am. I just have to see how the internals look. Okay, so obviously you can do this. And even if we come down to the breakout level, what I think you don't go all the way up here, I think we start building out value up here. Okay, that's the longs. Shorts, we're going to have a tough time today, but you got to talk about a scenario, right? And what's that scenario? What's that scenario? That is the correction, all right? Because we have single prints and thin volume, right? We got Alfie up in the mix here, okay? You got overnight inventory that is almost 95% net long. Those are weak hands. You are at the highs of the session. You have the most traded price here. Those are longs. You have a gap above us with a naked VPOC. I'm setting up the scene, all right? The crime scene. So what I can see here is we go up, push up into that naked VPOC. What do we do here? That's an untested most traded price of a day. Lots of times you see that. Okay, now if we come through that open, lower high, the first, maybe say target would be that overnight most traded price. Okay, if we break that and we hold under it and we break this demand and we start to hold, you got single prints and not a lot of great structure here, we could start moving down. Okay, and this is if the market's weak, we're going to start doing that and that and go probably back to here, most traded price of yesterday. I would be shocked if we break this big demand zone, but if we did, we're going to land here to the most traded price of the week, 2,275. This is now the 24-hour most traded price of the month. So I expect the most traded price of the month to move up here to be an ultimate balance. It just hasn't happened in real-time trading hours. You lose this, it's just no good. You're going to test this demand. It's just not good at all. It'll be big reversal. And then we got thin here. Big orders hitting the tape right now in my ear. All right. Big orders. Whew. All right. That's it, folks. That's scenarios. I was long-winded. I apologize. I don't even know why I was long-winded. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully you got golden nuggets out of this. Hopefully you're still holding on. Maybe you fell asleep. Hopefully you didn't. All right. But if you did enjoy it, and if you're a first-time listener, hopefully you didn't fall asleep and you got the golden nuggets. All right. So please subscribe and set an alert. I'm trying to build this up. Trying to build it up. That's exactly what I want to hear, Pancake. That's exactly what I want to hear. Please smash that like button for me. That would help me out a lot. Okay. I'm trying to build an army here. Profile army. All right. Now, you could always follow me on X at Gonzo719. All right. Now, my trading, my day trades, like I said, I have successful day trades a lot, but the educational ones is the one that I post. So please go to my YouTube shorts or go TikTok. Gonzo719 Trader. You can check it out, what I analyze when the market opens, because I can't talk about that today because I don't know what the market's going to do when it opens. All right. I just don't know. All right. So everybody stay green. Stay patient. Today is going to be fun. Okay. But you got to be patient. Okay. You got to be patient. All right. Because there will be probably some type of correction that will make you feel that, oh my God, it's not strong. But that's where the data comes in for the internals and all this stuff. I'm not sure if anybody has that. But that's it, folks. All right. Now, I'll see everybody tomorrow. Remember, Powell at 9:20. Pre-recorded, though. So we'll see what that does. All right. And 10:30, another Fed. Just be aware. 10 o'clock, we have home sales. Be aware. All right. Everybody, have a great day. And hopefully my computer doesn't crash when I say goodbye. Take it easy, guys.